Hi, SivaKrishna.
Hi, sir.
ఎట్లా ఉన్నారు?
బాగున్నాను. ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
Okay. Good. So you are appearing for job interviews on DevOps roles, right?
Yes, sir.
So I sent a JD to you. Did you get them? Did you see?
Yes, I have seen. Yeah, I have seen that JD.
Okay. Can you open that file now? Share here. Okay, DevOps engineer, right? AWZ DevOps engineer. Okay, wait. ఫస్ట్ మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే మీ రెజ్యూమ్ కూడా ఓపెన్ చేయండి. ఫైల్ ఓపెన్ చేసి ఫస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యువర్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అండ్ ఇన్ ద రెజ్యూమ్ వాట్ ఆల్ యూ హ్యావ్ డన్ ఇట్. You have to take your latest resume as on today, what all the project activities you have done it so far. Okay.
Yes,
so
yes,
first, what is your background, degree, which year you passed?
So basically, I have done my graduation in the year of 2020 COVID time. So then I started this internship as a part-time initially when I joined on the October month of the 2020. So you can see here my details. So what I have studied, and so this is my LinkedIn profile. And if it can go down, these are my proof of concept activities. During this internship, I have done this some of the proof of concepts and AWS cloud by using different services.
What are the services you completed so far in AWS?
In AWS, we have covered various services like EC2, MySQL database, and EVS volumes, and with the Terraform also we are automating the infrastructure, and so many like containers like ECS and EKS also we have covered for the containers and CI/CD pipeline for the multiple builds and the S3 app.
Did you do VPC peering also, S3 also?
VPC peering is not covered, but
in the POCs it is not covered. But are you aware of the VPC peering?
Yes, I know the process of how to connect in between the two regions by connecting VPC peering connection.
You can set up that also. Okay. RDS.
Yes, we have done one POC with WordPress by connecting the backend as RDS database, I think.
Okay. Load balancer also done or yet to be done?
Need to done that load balancer concept.
Okay. Then
the cloud formation service where you covered.
What are the automation tools used during AWS presentations?
Automation tools. Terraform and YAML like cloud formation. And Lambda like a Boto3 script.
Boto3 separately are done, Lambda separately are done, or combinedly are done the demos?
We have done with combined script, including both.
You can work on Boto3 scripts also?
Yes.
Independently means without anybody's help?
Yes, I will create infrastructure by using,
Boto3 script means is it PHP or Python?
So it's a Python, like Python script only.
Which version of the Python you used?
3+, I think 3. 9, I
Okay,
think.
3 plus version of
3 plus version.
Now, let us say Terraform you use it for YAML scripting, right?
Mm-hmm.
The CloudFormation, did you use YAML or JSON?
Yeah, we have used both YAML and JSON scripts.
Okay. Let us say you have WordPress site deployed in a two-tier architecture using Terraform.
Okay.
Now there is a requirement that particular team use only Boto3 scripts because they wanted to use along with Lambda sometimes with Boto3 all these things. That environment is purely on Python. Now there are some project activities they have done it using Terraform also, but they want that scripts need to be converted into Boto3 and update the environments. Let us say you have a WordPress site running in production. Now in WordPress site they have RDS, they have set up with MariaDB. Okay, assume that MariaDB is the database. The two-tier architecture in single region. Now they want to extend that setup in different regions by using the Boto3 script.
Okay.
But there are no scripts written for that setup. They have written in ML with Terraform. Are you capable of converting that ML code into Boto3 Python script also?
Yeah, yes, I can convert that whatever the existing
you
infrastructure.
Understand the requirement?
Yes.
You explain what did you understand?
So there is an already WordPress setup is already existed in one region. So now the requirement will look like so you need to set up with the Boto3 script in the another region.
The same setup in Boto3 script, you need to do it in different region, right?
Different region. So how we can create the infrastructure with the help of Boto3. So we need to convert this infrastructure into Boto3 script. You are asking that one?
Yeah, that is the question. Yes, you are right. Your next activity will be you will be implementing this particular setup in Boto3. So you have a ML script. So now, how are you going to convert? Can you tell some few steps in high level? I am not asking you script level. How is your plan, design plan in such cases?
So first of all, we need to analyze the infrastructure that whatever the components we are using in the WordPress setup. So the same components we are going to take with the help of Boto3 resources scripts are available. So we need to take that whatever the resources we have done in the WordPress setup, that resources we need to take from this from the internet. That one, what is that? Boto3 scripts, whatever like EC2, RDS.
Services code snippets, Python snippets, Python code snippets. Okay.
So now, according to
yeah, go ahead if you want to tell.
According to this Terraform, whatever the Terraform design is there, so we need to that come by the scripts we can able to create this with the help of Boto3 script. Same structure.
Okay.
Whatever the Terraform structure.
Okay. Will you try the same activity in your next POC or the coming POCs in AWS and show in your resume later?
Okay, sure.
Okay, good. Now let us open the job description. You worked on Azure also, right?
Yes, some of the
What all the areas you worked on Azure?
like PM creation by using the CLI and portal and PowerShell, and also web page creation by using web app service, and created one WordPress setup in the web app service, and also ARM templates, how to create resources by using this ARM template, and data storage service. That one.
Okay. When you come to data storage, what kind of storage components are there in Azure? Let us say you have S3 in AWS. Now in Azure, what is the service you use it for the similar one?
Containers. We have this containers storage in the Azure. So in the containers, yes.
You can store the objects in container?
Yes. We are uploading objects into the containers.
Can you share that objects to different people also without having public option in Azure?
With the public access, we can able to share that URL.
No, but you can do that with private access also, right? In the group. In Azure, you can create a group. In that group, you can add their IDs, right? Their IAM IDs, right?
Yes.
That group can be added to your object, container group, right?
We can add.
And whoever logs into that, it will appear in their storage area. Am I right? Like you have S3 CRR, cross-region replication. How are we going to do that? Both the source and destination, you are sharing it. The destination person also can share his files to source person, right? Vice versa.
Yes.
The similar concept can be done using the group addition of the user IDs. The IAM IDs.
Yes.
Is it possible that way?
Here in the Azure, right? You are asking.
Yeah, I am asking in Azure.
Yeah, is it possible? It's possible.
Okay. Right. Then another thing.
Okay.
Did you work on Elastic Containers service?
Yes. In the AWS. Yes.
Okay. Now let us say I wanted to set up a WordPress site using EKS.
Okay, ECS.
Not an ECS, EKS. Before that, they were running on the ECS, that site. ECS is for Docker containers, right? Elastic Container Service. Now they want that to be migrated into EKS. So what are your steps, design steps or planning steps you will adopt it?
Okay. So for that, from the ECS to EKS setup.
Let us say in WordPress, what happens? How are you going to set up in ECS? Did you do that?
Basically, we are taking one EC2 server and we are building one image, that WordPress image, and from the image we are going to send that image to this particular ECR repository in the AWS. So from that we are going to set up the WordPress by using that ECS containers, creating the containers, and set up this WordPress on the ECS.
Okay, when you create the ECS containers, they are storing in the ECS register only, ECR, am I right? Can you pull that container into Docker Hub to the public site?
Yes, it's possible to pull that. Yes, images.
Let us say you have MariaDB server running in a container. That container image is registered in ECR, and that can be transferred to Docker Hub also from ECR.
Yeah, we can pull that image into the Docker Hub image.
Yes. Now let us say in EKS, what kind of containers you are going to use? Is there any registry you are going to create it for containers?
For what?
If there is one image in Docker Hub, can you use it in EKS?
Yeah, we can use that image by in the whatever
from
the
Docker
service from yes. So, but how we can use means we are going to create one ML script, service ML script. So in that we are going to configure that Docker Hub images URL, so that it can pull that image into this script, and it will execute and deploy the service ML file into the EKS.
Okay. So in such case, it is possible to migrate from ECS to EKS, right? Any kind of setup. Is it possible?
Not sure.
No. What way you are not sure? You have done with EKS, you have done with ECS. Now, you need only images in both places, in both services, ECS and EKS. Am I right?
Both services, yes.
From the image obviously, your containers are running in ECS. That container can be converted into image. That can be uploaded into Hub, Docker Hub. Then you can download it into EKS registry, right? In EKS also you have registry, right? Containers registry, right?
Yes.
Parts. The parts you can pull from Docker Hub, right? Image. You are using image only, right? From image you are configuring as a pod, right? Under pod, right? Each container.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. So in such case, you have two-tier architecture running in ECS. Now, with this concept, you tell me the steps. What are the design steps you are going to do? What are the step 1 to site running in
the EKS?
Yes. You have ECS site running to convert that site into EKS. What are the steps you are going to follow?
So first, we have the image ready to take into the EKS cluster. So first, we need to create one EKS cluster in the AWS. So once you created the EKS cluster, so next we are going to create the pods inside the EKS cluster. So there is one script is available by creating the pods. So in the pods, we are going to take the image, WordPress image, and we create one pod here in the EKS cluster. So from the pod, we are going to create one service in order to access this site by using the service file, service.yaml file, and once we created the service.yaml file, and we are going to deploy that service.yaml file in the EKS cluster.
Okay. Now, how are you going to configure that as a site in EKS?
This image.
Yeah, you have to tell those steps also, right? How you are going to configure it. When you configure the WordPress site, there are different configuration setups, right?
Yes.
You are going to configure the database, or what is it actually? Or you are going to run directly by using the ECS passwords of the containers and releasing that to host the site, or how you are planning?
Okay. So
you configure the pods, right? So far.
Yeah.
In the cluster. Now, what kind of image you downloaded? It was a two-tier architecture in ECS. How many images should be there if it is a two-tier architecture in WordPress?
So that one image.
In typical two-tier, how many images can be there? In general, non-container services, let us say in WordPress is configured. In two-tier, what kind of servers will be there? How many servers in that architecture?
Okay, 2 servers on the front end.
Front end, what is that server?
That
What server?
like Apache server.
Okay, Apache server is running in the front end in private or public EC2?
Public subnet EC2.
Okay.
Sorry.
The next one.
And in the back end, one MariaDB or MySQL database is running.
Okay. Now, are you going to set up the same way in ECS or different way?
Same way.
How many images will be there in ECS with this setup? Two-tier architecture?
2 images.
2 images. The same thing you are going to migrate into EKS. That is the requirement, right? Then how many pods can be created in the EKS?
So 2 pods we need to.
2 pods. Okay. What kind of network you are using? Are you going to use VPC in one VPC or different VPCs? If it is single two-tier, there was no pairing in ECS. So how many networks will be there in this case?
2 networks.
Why 2 networks? You mean to say 2 VPCs will be there? You want to pair it or what? Because the design was made in ECS with single network with two-tier architecture. Like okay, in the legacy. Legacy is you had one VPC and in one VPC, one public subnet, one private subnet was there. It was called as a two-tier architecture in WordPress. And that is migrated to ECS with the same designs and architecture setup. The same thing they wanted you to transfer to EKS. Then in that case, how many networks are required? They're not going to do any pairing here.
So one VPC network inside. There is one public subnet, and on the public subnet, like one EC2 server is running.
Is it server you call it or container you call it in
so,
EKS?
Pod.
Pod. Okay, pod is running. It means you're going to create 2 pods or single pod?
2 pods for.
Okay. Right. Now you show your JD, whatever I shared to you. Let us walk through in high level. Where all you are eligible, some points you can explain it for the job requirement. Okay. Just open that document. Okay. It is a AWS DevOps engineer basically. So you should be aware of all the infrastructure setup with non-container legacy area and container area and cluster management area like EKS, such kind of things in AWS. Now you take each point. What is your eligibility for that point? You tell me what kind of work you are done and what way you can justify you are eligible for this.
Okay. So we have one AWS DevOps engineer job description. So if you take a first one, good working knowledge on the AWS Cloud Platform services, well aware of the uses of these services. So it means, so I have a good knowledge on this AWS Cloud Platform services by using, have created, done the proof of concepts on various AWS services. You can see like how we can take the MySQL database and how can we share the TMI into the other developer. So that kind of activities we have done on the AWS by using these services. And also the like a container ECS, how we can set up the WordPress site. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead with all the points.
Okay. So if you see this good working knowledge on DevOps tools like Jenkins, Jira, Ansible, and Terraform and CloudFormation template. So if you see here, the DevOps tools are like Jenkins. So basically, Jenkins is used for continuous integration and the deployment purpose, where different tools can integrate in the Jenkins pipeline, and we can deploy the application into various environments. So, and if we can see Ansible, so this is basically for configuration management and also include infrastructure creation also. And I have done POCs by using this Terraform tool, and also this Ansible also. One demo is I have done on the Ansible to create the EC2 server.
You work with Ansible also?
Yes, I have done one POC on the Ansible to set up the Apache web server on the EC2 servers. And we have done a few POCs this by using this Terraform, creating the infrastructure by automating by the help of Terraform, like WordPress setup in the two-tier architecture. And also we have done by using this CloudFormation template. So next, scripting knowledge in Bash or Python, etc. So when it comes to the scripting knowledge, so basically we use this Python and scripting for the infrastructure creation, and for similar like if I want to if I want to create one, taking the files into the another folder, and so if some small like some small task, we are going to create one scripting, and we can execute that script into the various environments. Basically, that is about the scripting. If you see experience in infrastructure build and testing, so it means we are going to create the infrastructure, and we further we are going to testing that infrastructure, whether the actual it is working or not in the different environments. So if it is not working, again we are going to build and testing. So it is like in a DevOps process. This is one of the stage where we can build and test everything in the infrastructure.
One question: how many DevOps project activities you have done in your demos?
So
how many
DevOps
POCs?
On the DevOps project.
Yes, DevOps.
By using that CI/CD.
You can show your resume. It should be there in the resume, right? You have already added them, right? Go to resume and show what projects those are.
Like CI/CD pipeline.
What is the first project you have done? Code migration?
This one, MySQL. Data sharing.
No. First DevOps project I am asking. Where is DevOps?
This one, code build.
The 13 is there, right? What is the 13? GitHub code migration to AWS. Did you use the code repository services? Migrate into AWS repository?
Yes, we have used the code repository.
Now, what is the process involved in that code migration? Let us say you have some repository in GitHub. Some 10 files are there. Now, a developer wanted the 10 files to be there in his AWS repository. What is the process involved in that? Steps.
So basically, we are going to taking the migration from the GitHub to AWS means. So first we need to create one folder in the local. So once we have created, then we can clone this repository, GitHub repository into the local. So after that, we are going to upload this whatever the folder are, including the files, into the GitHub to the AWS repository by using the push command.
Then it will be there in the repository, AWS repository, that code files.
Yes. Before that, we have one HTTP URL is there. So that HTTP URL, we are going to from the local to that HTTP URL. So that whatever the URL is available, that repository name is at the end of this URL. We have one repository name.
Without cloning into the local, is it possible directly to upload into AWS repository? You said
yes, it is possible by configuring the token
GitHub token, right?
Yes.
So GitHub that token can be added there in the repository options, right?
Yes. So that it will, it is possible. It will connect to the connection in between the GitHub and AWS by connecting that token URL.
Okay. Next project activity, code build and code pipeline you have done. What kind of environment you used for code build? What tool you used in AWS code build service?
So that is for code.
Which code?
We are using basically Java based web application for the code build.
Okay. So what tool you used for building code build? You need to set up that screen, right, in the code build screen of AWS, right? From where you need to pick up the build and what repository.
Yes.
And what tool you need to use for code building. All those you need to give specifications there on the parameters screens, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what are the things you have done in this project proof of concept?
So while creating this code build, we have several options are available on the console. So we need to mention the where we are going to take the source. The source you need to mention whether it is in S3 bucket or any from the source we are going to take the build. So that source you need to mention. And also the name of the code build you are going to take from the options.
Right.
And we can create that code build.
Right, but there are tools options, right? Which tool you need to use, what kind of technology you need to use. Like if it is Java, if it is PHP, if it is Python, there are options, right, on the screen.
Yes.
And accordingly, the code build tool will be picked up by AWS internally, right? You don't need to mention like Maven or Gradle tools there on the screen, right? Depends on the technology done in the backend, right?
Yes. We don't require to take the Maven for the Java. It is Maven.
Okay. Now, in code pipeline, how many activities you have pipelined it in this project?
So code pipeline, basically we are going to take creating one name, and after that we are going to configure this whatever the code build is happened, and so we have taken that code build inside this code pipeline, configuring that build inside the code pipeline.
In the bottom one, POS 15, you mentioned that multiple builds. What are those multiple builds? What technologies builds? What kind of code? Java, PHP, Python?
Yeah, it is also a Java-based application.
All builds are Java only?
We are using Java.
All Java builds. Oh, but multiple applications.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Then come down. Did you do any presentation with manual and automation also anywhere in one presentation?
Manual and automation.
Both together as a demo.
This one WordPress MariaDB.
WordPress MariaDB with Terraform you have done it. It means manually you have done 2-tier architecture of WordPress and you showed manual setup and later you executed the Terraform script for the same setup. Is it that way you have done?
Yes, yes. That process.
Okay. Now let us jump back to the JD, job description. Open that document. Okay. In this case, if you go to the second point, you have experience in Jenkins, you have experience in Ansible, you have experience in Terraform and CloudFormation tool, and you also worked with the Python and Bash. Obviously, Linux script comes under Bash only. You have worked with Bash and Python also. Then you have done many DevOps project activities like build deployment, code pipeline, such kind of things with multiple builds. You also worked with the build testing also and come up with the use cases, understanding infrastructure requirement, coordinate with end users, work with the AWS engineering, operation, security, compliance, and support teams. One question I want to ask, you never worked with any company, you worked with a coach for getting the technical experiences basically to compete in the market. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
To compete in the market to get a very good job. So in this case, you know there will be different teams. In a typical DevOps project, what are the roles you will be coordinating? Are you aware of that?
So yeah, in the DevOps process, basically different roles will come into the picture. While
explain their roles. Let us say one developer is working on development and he's getting ready to release a code portion. I mean one source code. Now start from developer role onwards up to implementation into the production. What is the process it involves and which role need to do what kind of activities? If you are aware of that, you explain that.
So whenever the developer is completed the release, that code release, so now the code is ready to integrate with the different environments. So the DevOps engineer will deploy this code into the different environments by taking basically that Jenkins will take care of the build process. And if it is on the different, once we have deployed the application into the testing environment, then the test engineers will test this application. So whether it is working with expected result. So if that is not working with the expected result, then again the code will revert into this developer's. And if it is working, then we are taking testing and the UAT and environments, and again we are going to deploy that environment into the different environment by using the DevOps role. And again we have tested that application with various performance testing, that one. So again, if it is not working, then it will again go to this code into the developer's role, and again they will fix the issue, and again it will deploy into this particular like testing dev and the UAT environments by using the DevOps engineer.
Okay. So now, who are all the users will come for this during this deployment? What is their role, user's role?
So once the code is ready to deploy in the production live environment, so before that deployment, we need to test this application with the end users by taking some test with the help of the end users. We are going to test the application in the like a pre-production, like that one. So once the code is working properly by using the end users, then after that we are going to deploy the application into the live production.
In DevOps, there is a dev word is there, and there is ops word is there. What is the meaning for these two words in DevOps?
So basically, it is the combination of the developers and operations teams together to collaborate with both teams.
Right. Now, when you deploy a code into production, what is the role of the operations? What they do before accepting the code into production? What they do?
So once the code is deployed into the production, so the operations team will handle this production live environment. If there are any issues encountering with this application, then they need to monitor and maintain this application by using the different tools like monitoring tools.
Okay. So you have an idea about the different role people in a project where if you want to implement a DevOps process, you can coordinate with different teams like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, now next point is ensure the use cases are documented in design specification. You have been doing in your previous POCs all the PPTs, PowerPoint presentations. So you are documenting all the design specifications. It is not a new activity. It's not a new activity. Okay. The current understanding of best practices regarding system security measures. Can you explain this? What is this means?
System security measures. So I think so we need to follow some system security policies while creating the infrastructure and applications.
In reality, in AWS, what are the security policies? For adopting security policies, what are the things you need to do on the networks or EC2s or normal giving access to the people? What are the security?
So when it is coming to the giving access to the other users, we are following the IAM policies with the least privileges to the other people. And also when it comes to the application traffic, we need to enable that the system security groups particular ports only. We are going to enable that one. Necessarily we are not enable the taking the all traffic into that application.
Okay, in a project you said different role people are there. Now in a staging environment you deployed the build. Now test engineer is there. You need to test the application. You also have the access as admin, DevOps admin. Am I right? So assume that there is a WordPress site. You're going to deploy into the test environment. Now this test engineer need to have what kind of access permissions? What are the security policies you follow in his case? Because you as admin, you will have all the access to all the services. Now, you need to test the site. If needed, he need to upload the database or take a backup of the database. That's all he need to do. For that kind of activities, what permissions you will be giving? What are the security policies you follow?
Okay, so the DevOps engineer will give the access to the test engineer the policies like EC2 read-only access like.
Okay.
And if the test engineer will have to access the DB database, and we need to also mention the policy like database not a full access, but up to read only or.
No, the test engineer says, I have a test data, I need to upload into the RDS, MariaDB. Now, what kind of permissions you need to give it to him in IAM role?
Execute, read that database execute permissions like.
Yeah. What is that policy? Is it related to RDS? Is it related to EC2 or full admin or something like that? There should be some policy, right?
RDS, yes.
RDS full access or what is it?
So if we want to update, we need to give RDS full access.
Okay. Now, are you aware of Agile process, Scrum process? Did you study any of the videos, any of the content so far?
I know about this Scrum methodology process.
Okay. Are you aware of the role of the Scrum Master?
Yes.
What he does?
So basically, so when the project will come into the initially, this Scrum Master will coordinate with the client and the product manager. So he will design the one sprint according to their requirement for the project.
What is sprint?
Sprint is nothing but one document like where in the document where we need to the requirement like how we are going to plan and design the steps.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So, as per your understanding on the JD points, how much percentage you are qualifying for this position? Your self-assessment, you tell me on these overall bullet points.
Okay.
I know you are not qualified 100%, but what is your assumption? What percentage you are qualified?
So have.
No, just tell the figure that how much percentage you are qualified for this position. It doesn't matter. Just we are assessing it.
80%. I think I'm aware of that services.
What are the 20% balance you are not qualified here in this position? What are the points?
You can see here like L3, L4 support and.
Right, that is one. Another one? Any more?
And this
you have live experience?
Collaborating with architect design experts and do the operations to integrate new solutions. That one.
Okay, that is as working with architects and design experts externally. Okay, right. Then any other things?
That's it.
Okay. So you mean to say in your internship you learned all these things, which is getting qualification or eligibility for DevOps engineer role in AWS, right? Apart from that, you have additional skills at Azure also, where you are going to move forward with Azure presentations also, right? You are yet to do, you said, right? Some more presentations, right? Related to containers or EKS, Azure Kubernetes services, such kind of things, right? You are working on that.
Yes, yeah, in the upcoming.
Okay. Right, SivaKrishna, nice talking to you. I appreciate you for coming into the call. I'll stop the recording. I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay.